the flesh, how much more shall the blood of Mashayach Yahawashi, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to the Most High, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living power. That's what he's telling us. We got to purge our conscience, our minds from dead works to serve the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. From there, we're going to look at verse 24. For Mashayach Yahawashi is not entered into the holy places made with hands, which are the figures of the true, but into heaven itself, now to appear in the presence of the Most High for us. That's why he told us in John 14:6. John 14:6. Mashayach Yahawashi said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So he's going to the Father on our behalf. He said, no man come to the Father but by him. And this is nothing new. It's been that way. You just have rebellious and wicked Israelites that don't want to accept it. 1 John 2:2. 1 John, the 2nd chapter, 2nd verse. And he is the propitiation for our sins, and not for ours only, but also for the sins of the whole world. Now, what world is he talking about? Because they say, oh, that means every nation. No. That's what they say. Isaiah 45:17. Isaiah 45:17. But Israel shall be saved in the Most High with an everlasting salvation. We shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. So Israel is that world that is talking about here. And not every nation. Read verse 1. So he was talking about. My little children, these things, this is 1 John 2:1. My little children, these things write I unto you, that ye sin not. And if any man sin, we have an advocate with the Father, Mashayach Yahawashi, the righteous. That's our advocate with the Most High, on the right hand side of the Most High. Mashayach Yahawashi, the anointed Savior. And he is the propitiation for our sins. And not for ours only. Speaking of those that John is talking to, it says, but also for the sins of the whole world. And hereby we know that we know him if we keep his commandments. Now, how's that talking to all the whole world when what nation is keeping the laws, statute, commandments of the Most High today? I thought in church they say you're not under the law, you're under mercy and grace. So they're not going through the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws. And you talk about the Jewish people, they have what they need the Talmud for, or the Kabbalah, what they need all that for. All you need is the book, the Torah and the Tanakh. That's it. As we have. The true Israelites. So, I mean, come on. Who's doing it? No one, except for the Hebrew Israelites. Those that's trying to make it. Wisdom of Solomon. The 4th chapter. And the 10th verse. We'll start there at 10. It's on page 60, if you have the Red Apocrypha. It says, he pleased the Most High and was beloved of him, so that living among sinners, he was translated. Talking about a Mashayach Yahawashi. Yes, speedily was he taken away, lest standing, Verse 21. Yeah, speedily was he taken away, lest that wickedness should alter his understanding, or deceit beguile his soul. So how is it that this is the Mashayach Yahawashi? The Most High had to get him away, take him out of this wicked world. He said, yeah, speedily was he taken away, lest that wickedness should alter his understanding, or deceit beguile his soul. Come on. And it's wickeder now than it was then. So how you think you're going to really be able to sustain yourself when the Most High had to get him out of this world? He had to get Mashayach Yahawashi out of this world, lest the wickedness would have overcome him. And here we are now, people in the world thinking that, oh, this is normal. But rolling in wickedness because they're not doing the things that the Most High says do to make it to the kingdom. We got to be in this book. We got to be studying. We got to apply this in our life continually, as much as we can. That's why you had to get a Mashayach Yahawashi out of here, because of the wickedness that was in this world. What world? The Roman world. And who was Israelites? Surrounded by the Romans. They were the superpower of the earth at the time, the so-called Italian Caucasians. That's why Reagan said, I can trace my roots all the way back to the Roman Empire, because he was an Italian. Don't take a rocket science to figure this out, y'all. But see, when people read the Bible, they don't want to deal with the fact that the Bible deals with history. His story and our story. So, but if you eliminate our story, all you have is what? His story. So, let me continue here. It says, I'm going to read that again. Wisdom of Solomon 4:11 says, yes, speedily was he taken away, lest that wickedness should alter his understanding. Remember what it says? And that's one of my favorites. Wickedness should alter his understanding. Now, how does that happen? That's why it says in Ecclesiastes, hold that in Wisdom of Solomon, the 4th chapter, Ecclesiastes 3:24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion, that's wickedness, have overcome their judgment. Evil comes in and overthrow their judgment. That's wickedness. Evil, wickedness, it's the same thing. Going back to Wisdom of Solomon, the 4th chapter, the 12th verse. It says, for the bewitching of naughtiness, you hear that? For the bewitching of naughtiness does obscure things that are honest, and the wandering of concupiscence does undermine the simple mind. The things that are so off to the left, you know, to the left, and did somebody make a song like that? To the left, what's that? Come on, go with Satan. Come on, go with wickedness. Because they say to the right, the Mashayach Yahawashi on the right hand side of the Most High. He got Satan and his imps on the left side doing the evil that the Most High create. When you read Isaiah 45:7. See, the bewitching of naughtiness. Man, how deep is that? Bewitching of naughtiness does obscure things that are honest. Because you're looking at how we bring forth the truth, and they say the truth, they call us devils because we're against the devil. They're the true devils, but you're against what they say, so you're a devil because you're against, which means deceitful and evil person, which saying you're lying when they're telling the truth, and they're dealing with what? Bewitched. They've been bewitched with naughtiness, contrary to the word of the Most High. Spiritually, you understand this. When you understand all these precepts that the Most High has brought about to show who our enemy is and who and how they think and what they're going to think and what they're going to say in the end. From the past, the present, and the future. It's all here. Just like you know how to sit down and make a meal. You know how you're going to make this, you're going to do this and do that. There's a formula, how you're going to put everything together, how you, in your mind, how you think you're going to put this together. You got to cook it a certain way, got to put this ingredient, that's how the Bible is. It's a formula. It's a formula that you know, once you understand it, you can go here, there, wherever, and it's going to always work. Precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little, and there a little. That's how it's written. Wow. So it says, verse 13. He, Mashayach Yahawashi, being made perfect in a short time, 33 years, fulfilled a long time. In that short amount of time that he lived, he fulfilled a long time. Because remember, he did more miracles than we put in all the books of the world. All the books of the world couldn't contain all the miracles that he done on this earth. Our power, Mashayach Yahawashi, the brother, the black man, the so-called black man that walked the earth in the flesh, that's a problem they have too. They got no problem with him being white. Who crying about the fact that, oh, this is a white man? That's a lie. Nobody crying about him. That's why I said people don't really love him. He just something to talk about. How you love someone and you don't stand up for him? That's why the Most High said, who will rise up for me against the evildoer? Who's going to stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? How you going to say you love the Most High and they put on the TV all the time, or every movie that we see, that we have seen, always so-called Caucasian people. And that's a lie. But they won't sit down and prove that they're the ones that's in the book. That's the Israelites. Why not? Because they know it's a lie. And our people love it so. They'll come up against us in a minute whenever we say that he was showing that his feet look like the fine brass. It says Revelation 1 and 15 as they burn in the furnace. You burn anything in a furnace, what color is going to turn? Put some on your stove. It don't take a rocket science to figure out. Put some on your stove and let it burn. Put brass on your stove and see what color it turns. White, red, different shades of red. It's going to be real dark. Blue, black, dark. Listen. Verse 14. For his soul pleased the Most High. Therefore hasted he to take him away from among the wicked. Take him away from among the wicked. Look at Isaiah 53 and 10. He had to get him away from the wicked. And they was doing all kind of crazy things. All you do is get this movie Caligula, the uncut version. You see what the Romans was doing. Isaiah 53 and 10. And Israel too. Don't get it twisted, because 2/3 of our people ain't good for nothing. You're looking for the 1/3. 1/3 of our people, you're going to make it. Isaiah 53 and 10. Yet it pleased the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to bruise him. He hath put him to grief when thou shalt make his soul, his body, an offering for sin. And we know an offering for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel. He shall see his seed, he shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Most High shall prosper in his hand. That's the power we serve. So who are we to think that the Most High not going to deal with us in some kind of way? When it pleased him to bruise his only begotten Son, Mashayach Yahawashi. Don't get it twisted, y'all. Let's go to Matthew, the 17th chapter. Y'all still with me? Okay, let's go. Matthew 17th chapter. We'll start the first verse. And after 6 days, Mashayach Yahawashi taketh Peter, James, and John his brother, and bringeth them up into an high mountain apart, and was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. Meaning, he went into an angelic form, And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elijah talking with him. So Peter, James, and John seen this. But you see, he transfigured to be able to talk and be with the spirit Moses and the spirit Elijah that came talking with him. Then answered Peter and said unto Mashayach Yahawashi, Mashayach, it is good for us to be here. If thou wilt, let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elijah. And we know Elijah went up in the chariot, whirlwind. Where's Moses? You know, if they had Moses' grave, they'd have it as a shrine. Nobody knows where Moses' grave is. So for Moses to come here with Elijah, he had to ascend up too.